In scenario 1, the athlete has fallen on their back, and the athletic trainers will be using a scoop stretcher to stabilize the athlete and remove them from the field. EMS is on scene at the time.
Two athletic trainers run onto the field. Maria asks the athlete if they are okay, and the athlete states that he can't feel his legs and his right arm is tingling. After hearing this, Bo gives the X signal to the athletic training student on the sideline to bring out the golf cart and the blue bag. The blue bag is Mercy's emergency equipment bag. Next, Maria stabilizes the athlete's neck. Danielle brings the cart out to the field, drops off the blue bag, and then drives to pick up the scoop stretcher and Mike, the EMT who is now on scene. The athletic trainer and students from the opposing team join Maria and Bo on the field.
The contents of the blue bag should include, but are not limited to, the following: an AED and oxygen tank in case of cardiac or respiratory distress, a screwdriver to remove the face mask, scissors to cut the jersey and shoulder pads off, the Riddell quick release tool for newer helmets, tongue depressors to shimmy out the ear pads. The pulse ox and blood pressure cuff are also for any cardiac events.
Because Maria is at the athlete's head and has spine stabilization, she is in charge of directing everybody else involved. She directs Bo to get out the screwdriver and scissors and instructs Jung and Bo to unscrew the face mask. She then directs Bailey and Sydney to cut off the jersey and shoulder pads. For simplicity of the video, we just untied the shoulder pads and unclipped them. Remember when removing the face mask to do a quarter turn of the screw first, and then start the power screwdriver. Getting the face mask off is extremely important because it allows for airway access if the athlete begins to decline. Also, remember when cutting the jersey off to cut under the arms as well so the shoulder pads can be pulled off. Next, Maria directs Bo and Jung to deflate the ear pads. Just note that this is an older helmet with no air in the ear pads. Mike, the EMT, arrives to the athlete, and Maria directs him to step over the athlete and take cervical spine stabilization. He does this by reaching around the neck and under the helmet. Once he has confirmed that he has control, Maria can let go, and Mike becomes in charge of directing. Mike directs Bo and Jung to remove the ear pads and chin strap. They use tongue depressors to wiggle the ear pads loose, and then they remove them. In order to remove the helmet and shoulder pads, Mike instructs Bailey, Sydney, Bo, and Jung to reach under the athlete's body, crossing their arms with the person across from them. He states that the group is going to lift the athlete's torso about 6 inches off the ground on 3, and then counts 1, 2, 3.
Yes. Is anyone not ready?
Ready.
He instructs Maria to remove the helmet by tilting it slightly forward to pull the pads away from the head. The shoulder pads separate where they were cut, and Maria slides the shoulder pads and jersey out of the way. Maria places the C-collar where the athlete's head will come down. Mike then tells the team down on 3 and then counts 1, 2, 3. Maria attaches the C-collar. The athlete now has cervical stabilization from the collar, but Maria still holds his head steady. Everybody moves out of the way so the sides of the scoop stretcher can be set down next to the athlete. Bo and Jung attach the scoop stretcher together at the top first, and then Bailey and Sydney attach it at the bottom. Next, the team all work together to apply the straps. After the straps are applied, everyone assumes a spot on the side of the athlete, with Maria still at the head. She instructs the team to lift on 3, and then counts 1, 2, 3. The team lifts the athlete and walks carefully to the golf cart. They place the scoop stretcher on the golf cart so that Danielle can drive it over to the ambulance that is waiting. Bo rides along to make sure the patient is secure and safe.
In this scenario, the athlete is landed face down, and the athletic trainers will utilize the log roll method to roll the athlete onto his back and then use a backboard to stabilize and remove him from the field. EMS is not on scene, so someone will call 911 and activate EMS.
As in the first scenario, the athletic trainers run out onto the field and do a quick primary survey of the athlete and signal to the student on the cart to activate EMS.
Hi, my name is Danielle, and I'm an athletic training student for Parkview High School. We have a male 18-year-old that's a football player that's down on the field with a suspected C-spine fracture. The EMS entrance is 1327 South Thelma Avenue.
When an athlete falls face down, the log roll method will be utilized. This involves the athletic trainers putting the arms over the head and rolling them over the opposite shoulder from which their head is facing. The person stabilizing the head controls rotation throughout the log roll. The athletic trainers once again remove the jersey, shoulder pads, and face mask. Once EMS has arrived, the person driving the cart will bring them out to the field along with the backboard. At that time, EMS will step over the athlete and take control of C-spine stabilization from the front as described in Scenario 1.
Okay, so on my count, we're going to lift him about 6 inches up, okay? No one start till on 3, so if I say 1, 2, 3, we're going to lift on 3, okay? Is everyone ready?
Yes.
Is anyone not ready?
No. Ready. No one.
Okay, on 3, 1, 2, 3.
Once the equipment is removed, the athlete is ready to be lifted using the 6-person lift technique. All athletic trainers should reach under the athlete with their arms alternating with the person across from them. And down, 1, 2, 3. On the count of 3, the athletic trainers will lift the athlete approximately 6 inches off the ground, allowing the EMS to slide the backboard underneath. In place of the collar, the head is stabilized by blocks that are velcroed to the board. The straps are tightened to hold the athlete in place. The straps should go over the shoulders and hold the arms in place over the chest. There should also be straps across the torso, hips, and low legs. Make sure the Y is at the top under the neck and the horizontal strap is at the bottom. Everyone prepares to lift the athlete on the backboard on the count of 3 and move him to the cart to be taken to the ambulance.
Stop! Okay, tell me when.